Hi, I'm Gunn, and this is my review of 2024's Wicked and 2025's Wicked for Good. Both is directed by Jon M and both is starred Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, Jonathan Bailey, Michelle Yeoh, Jeff Goldblum, and Ethan Slater. Now let's start with 2024's Wicked Part 1. Now let me tell you this. Every single positive comment in this review of Wicked Part 1 can attach the word surprisingly very at the start, and to honestly, that matched my amazement and surprise that I have for in this movie. So keep that in mind. Okay, so that was freaking awesome. Very awesome. Before I saw the movie, I was very cautious. I had very little interest prior into the Wicked thing. I haven't seen the musical or the novel this movie was based on, and the trailer didn't really sold on me because I was very foreign to this story. But I have watched Wicked of Oz. No, not Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz. Sorry, Wizard of Oz prior. So I liked Wizard of Oz, but it was the buzz and the social media attention that this movie got that really sold and get my attention. My interest was piqued on how will this movie played out, because I have no idea how. And I'm gonna tell you this: it's really good. Now, most of this film I have watched, right? There's always this break-in scene for me. A scene that sets the tone and made it pretty clear for me whether I like the movie or not, and whether what my opinion will most likely be. This movie is the song The Wizard and I. That sequence is what makes Elphaba into a character. It was introduces her ambition and her personality as a whole for me, and that is when it clicked for me. She sets her motive, her optimism, and proving herself that she is a great character and not this Wednesday Addams killjoy of a character I suspected. Thank God. And didn't mention the song absolutely goes hard. Like, Jesus Christ, it's incredibly powerful, and this combining the awesomeness and the beautiful visual of the scene, and the fjord, Jeff Goldblum head statue. It's great, and it creates this roaring start to the film, which I really enjoyed. And dude, everybody's voice, every cast member voice in this movie is angelical. It's beautiful to listen to. They are surprisingly so good. Well, maybe except for Michelle Yeoh, but we'll get to her later. Ariana Grande and especially Cynthia Erivo, which I have never heard of her name before, they absolutely kills it. They have great voices, and they fit the character and personality of who they are portraying really, really well. They are great casting. Like many people, I was quite worried about how this movie, even though being the first part, the first act of the entire play, is 2 hours and 40 minutes long. But man, the pacing flows quite well. I guess there's just so much to tell. And the ending, of course, it's being the end of Act 1, right? It doesn't really felt like a lazy halfway cut either, but it's a natural endpoint, which I do really appreciate. It actually felt like an awesome origin story that kept me excited for the upcoming sequel of Part 2. But Part 1 itself, if you just watch Part 1, it's still a great movie. I still enjoy a lot of it because, as you will see in the second movie, if you have seen the second movie, it's quite jarring, the first and the second act. It felt like a completely different story, but oh boy, I'll get to the second one later. But yeah, let's talk about the plot of the first one. It goes pretty well, explaining and expanding the lore of Oz, and the new characters, oh, foreshadowing, the new characters are fun. The messages of the film are honestly pretty great, and the way they let the reveal of some origins from the original Wizard of Oz movie is honestly pretty great and satisfying. And the way they sneak in some reveals of some origins or some references to the original movie, Wizard of Oz movie, and cameos too, I felt like it's not forced at all. It felt natural, and I really appreciate it. It gives me this, oh, I see reaction, which is good. And overall, it's a great origin story that sets up the hopefully epic Part 2, wink wink, and it almost felt like Dune Part 1. But here, I felt like I enjoyed this Part 1 way more than Dune, because in Dune Part 1, in my opinion, it's quite boring. The visual is great, but it's just too much politics and not much action going on for me. But in here, a lot of things happen. So I enjoyed this movie a bit more than Dune Part 1. Finally, let's talk about the characters. Starting with Galinda, played by Ariana Grande. For me, she's surprisingly, genuinely kind and likable character. I found little to no annoyance in her character, which, surprised me either. And that really works. That's great. She played the character very fittingly, and her voice is wonderful. I really like her characters, and she's just a joy to watch, She's entertainingly goofy and silly in a way. You just can't help but feeling empathy for her. And Elphaba, like I mentioned, played by Cynthia Erivo, she did a superb, phenomenal job in this character. Her character as Elphaba is also great. She is very easy to root for, and you will know why when you watch this movie. It's her against the world of Oz. Fiyero, played by Jonathan Bailey. At first, I thought he was Andrew Garfield, but nope, he isn't. He's great. He's great. He's energetic, and he's hot, and he's great. He's fun. Michelle Yeoh is Madame Morrible, MM. She's the head of Shiz High School, and she's quite gracious. I like her in this movie. She is better in this movie than the second movie. Let me warn you that. Jeff Goldblum as Oz, he sees him finally drops the Goldblummy act. I mean, he might not drop it 100%, but it felt like he's playing a character for once and not just playing himself, There's this charm and this peculiar with his Goldblum sense of word, but like in Wicked, he acts angry, he acts proud, he acts amazed, and he fits the character of the Wizard of Oz. He's great. I really like him. So overall, Wicked Part 1, really good, really like it. On its own, it's still a great movie to enjoy, and it does build up to a Part 2. So let's get to Part 2. Oh yeah, 4.5 out of 5 to Wicked Part 1. Now, 2025's Wicked 4, good. Looking at this movie retrospectively, the scale could be much different than the first. Act 1 plays like this fantasy high school drama, albeit really damn good. This one is basically about the war and the hunt for the Wicked Witch of the West, Elphaba over here. The movie started out really, really strong with this opening sequence set to song of Every Day More Wicked. It is so insanely good at hooking you right back in after a year, right? This is a fast-moving camera actions, seeing how Oz developed since we last see them. So it's introspective. It hooks you right back in. It just sets you up for this bigger and grander atmosphere that the Part 2, for good, will give you. And it sets over this sweeping soundtrack, which I really like. The soundtrack of Wicked, really, really good. It's incredible. I love it. I was so thrilled for the rest of the movie when that opening scene ended. I was so hype. One thing I noticed about this movie compared to the first one is the fact that in this movie, the politics and the propaganda of Oz is way more stronger here, way more present, and is way more in your face. And like seriously, it's so blatantly obvious how manipulative Madame Morrible is to Galinda, and I really dig it how they show this cruelty of the entire situation of it all. It makes me feel genuine disgust and anger towards the government of Oz, and that is a good thing to evoke, make the audience feel. I quite like this aspect of the movie. And me saying that this movie is about a war is quite a bit of a stretch, okay? Because most of what happened is basically negotiations and conversations between Galinda and Elphaba. There's not that much of a fight going on. There's some, but like, it's not a war. It's just I declare battle to Elphaba. Yeah. And when the movie doesn't take place in Shiz high school anymore, it loses some of its magical atmosphere that I like from the first movie. And the plot of this movie, it is in all honesty nothing to write home about. As again, it's not much of a war, it's about the hunt. But to be honest, there are some memorable scenes here and there that I would like to mention because they're good. First of all, most of the conversation between Elphaba and Glinda, one by one, is touching. They're quite touching, they're quite emotional, they are quite revealing. And their performances, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, are still very, very solid here. And here, it's with much more nuance and maturity, reflecting the theme and the message of the movie itself, being changed for good. There's also this random fight scenes in the middle of this movie where they just decide to brawl each other, like duke it out, drop the wand, drop the broom, just fist fight, girly fist fight. And I really like how they switch from this like grand camera to this handheld shaky action movie cinematography camera instead. Really nice touch. I watched a bit too much action movie, I know. Anyway, pretty cool. Fiyero is also here, and he can be seen mostly unhappy, but he eventually has his heart's way, which is nice to see him develop into the character that he is. Scarecrow. Bach and Nessa. Oh yeah, Nessa. I didn't mention these two characters in the first. Well, here's the thing. Bach and Nessa, they're fine. They are good supporting characters, you know? On their own, they aren't too memorable. But here, together, although their roles are quite reduced compared to the first, but their performance and what they give in this movie is pretty good. And them stepping into the dark side, both of them, honestly, it does left the mark for me to, you know, feel like, oh yeah, those two characters, they are pretty good. Yeoh here she is. M. She stinks. She's not that good over here. She sticks out like a sore thumb. And it really shows that her voice, her singing voice, doesn't really fit compared to everybody else in the cast. And her performance itself in this movie particularly felt quite stiff and weak compared to the previous. And unlike Jeff Goldblum, who owns his entire shtick even more, making it work as this villainous Oz, the manipulator, the government creating hysteria and stuff, right? Jeff Goldblum works, and you can hate him. Yes, Goldblum is hateable in this movie. Wow. The songs in this movie, although is kind of weaker than the first, they still absolutely bangs and deliver. No Good Deed is powerful. The opening, as I mentioned, is an incredible opener. Sets the mood, sets the tone really well. Jeff Goldblum's wonderful. Is pretty fun, and his voice and his like eccentric shenanigans really elevates that song. As Long as You're Mine is a genuine love song between, I'm saying, Elphaba and Fiyero, and it's a genuine love song that doesn't try to be grand or large or describing this war that surrounds them or anything. It's just a song between one person to another. And that's really sweet. It shows some honesty and love that it makes this a really nice break from the grand spectacle of the entire movie as a whole. I quite like this song. It's really good. It's touching. It's touching. And of course, the song everybody has been looking forward to the entire movie, and heck, it's being named after it for good. And it is really good. That's maybe a bit of an understatement. It's like really good. It's my favorite song from this movie. Definitely. It's an absolute gut punch. It's so moving. And being the last song of the entire movie as a whole, the last moment of clarity between Elphaba and Glinda, that those two are together, present, it's really tear-jerking. It's really emotional, right? And the song is magical and stuff. The song is really, really good. I really like that song. So yeah, my top three are basically For Good, As Long as You're Mine and the opening, yeah. Now, here comes the complaint. It is really, really apparent to me that the story in this movie is quite rushed. And let me tell you, and let me remind you, and this is from a 1 hour second act of a Broadway musical show, extended to a 2 hours and 20 minutes movie feature length. And yet, I feel, and yet I feel like they cut many scenes quite short. A lot of emotional and vital moments are rushed and not fully fleshed out. Like, for crying out loud, show us the thing and stop teasing and implying things, for crying out loud. Show, don't tell. That's one of my biggest complaints here. But man, the biggest letdown for me here is, of course, the ending. After the song Wicked, no, after the song, but of course, but man, of course, my biggest letdown of this movie is the ending. After the song For Good ended, it goes into this closing minutes and it completely fumbles itself. The movie tried to stick a landing, but they pulled back from safely landing too many times that eventually, when it goes to the actual ending, which is not that good either, it flopped. It flopped the landing for me, and it just felt unsatisfying and overlong. There are so many points in the last 15 minutes of this movie where they could end the movie solidly and safely, and yet they decided to put more revelations, more reveals, more twists, more story into that tiny little segment right there, and it turns and keeps on going and doesn't give us any time to process any of the like 4 to 5 big reviews in the closing minutes at all. So when the end eventually comes and the title, the credits popped up, I felt robbed. I felt robbed, especially the biggest reveal of it all that pretty much changed the entire Wizard of Oz original movie too. I'm gonna say it. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Elphaba survived. Why? Why did they show that? I don't get it. I know that this is how the Broadway supposed to end it too, but like, dude, come on. Come on. Look, I don't like the ending, but aside from that, in all honesty, is this a good movie? Yes. If you enjoyed the first movie in any capacity at all, I would easily recommend you the second one because very most likely you will enjoy this one too. But if you have seen the musical and you're fine with the ending itself, you will likely enjoy this. But if you don't like the second half of this musical still, you've seen the first one, just go see it. It's still a good movie. It's still a good movie. It's still a wickedly epic conclusion that does the tales justice to the fans and enjoyers of the first. And I do like it, aside from the ending that they fumbled. It's still a 4 out of 5 for me. I still would recommend this movie, but I highly recommend the first movie way more. And that's my opinion, okay? So yeah, that is my review of both Wicked movie. I hope you enjoyed this grab bag movie review from me. And if you enjoyed it, please leave a like. And if you want to see more of me casually grab bag reviews movie like this or more, please subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.